In honor of St. Patrick's Day being right around the corner, I rewatched Leprechaun for you. So do you remember Leprechaun? No, it wasn't a dream. The 1993 fantasy horror film starring a very young Jennifer Aniston about a literal killer leprechaun wreaking havoc on her, briefly her father, the hot painter guy, his kid brother, and a Lenny from Of Mice and Men-esque, but not quite other guy. Well, I do. So, Leprechaun. Does it hold up? Did it ever? Let's discuss. An evil, sadistic leprechaun goes on a killing rampage in search of his beloved pot of gold. Yeah, that's literally what it's about. That is exactly what happens. What you see is what you get. I mean, the plot of the film, I have to say, like, props to them. It is very simple, which I think that's a good thing in a movie like this. Like, this guy, Mr. Grady, goes to Ireland, and this little leprechaun follows him home after Mr. Grady steals his pot of gold, and then he kills his wife, and then Mr. O'Grady actually manages to capture the leprechaun and put him in this, like, box. And he has his 4-leaf clover, which just so happens to grow in a patch right outside the house, which I'm like, okay. And locks him in there. But Mr. O'Grady, although he catches the leprechaun, he has a heart attack. So he's out of there. 10 years later, Jennifer Aniston's father buys the house because it's, like, super cheap and broken down. And Jennifer Aniston, who plays Tori, is like a Cali girl, and she just, like, can't be bothered, and she thinks this place sucks. But then she meets this hot painter guy, and she's here to play. She accidentally wakes up the leprechaun, and madness ensues. And, like, there's a scene where Tori goes to Mr. O'Grady, who did not die from the heart attack. He is just, like, in an old folks home and needs to find out, like, how to stop this leprechaun. And the leprechaun is chasing her in a wheelchair, like, down the hospital hall. And it's like, yeah, like, of course that happened in this movie. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so look, in all seriousness, this film is fun, you know? It's camp. It's about a greedy little leprechaun who can only be stopped by either a 4-leaf clover, makes sense, or this, like, hunger and desire and need to shine shoes. The Rotten Tomatoes score is literally 35%, which, you know, isn't great, but they've made, like, 7 other Leprechaun films, so there's a market for it. Somebody's watching these movies. Somebody's funding this. And like I said, this movie is pure camp, which I think every once in a while we could all use a little camp. Can you think of a movie that is more camp than Leprechaun? Not in this genre, no. Like, that little leprechaun is a diva. I watch movies as often as I can with subtitles on, and every single song in this score, like, was about luck or green or clover. It was very on the nose. Is this movie scary? No, not at all. I'm trying to think. Like, in 1993, if I was, like, a 20-something, went to the movies with my friends to see this, I feel like I would have laughed. Like, I don't think I would have been scared. So, again, the plot, beginning, middle, end. But is it really the end? No. Because don't forget, we have 7 more movies. Does this film hold up in 2025? I guess it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for, like, a spooky little, exciting, scary, bloody mystery film, no. If you're looking for a campy, absurd, hilarious film about a little diva leprechaun, then yes, I think it does.